Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. This is our 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. New trim level for the 2022 model year. This is the most off-road oriented Outback they make. They do have a Forester Wilderness as well. Again, the most off-road oriented trim level in that vehicle model they make. So, at the front, you get a little bit more plastic cladding on the bumper than your standard Outback. They expect people are going to take these off the beaten path, so plastic is easier to maintain and doesn't get as beat up as paint. The other thing that you notice, you've got your hood decal, decal, sticker, whatever you want to call it. It's matte black regardless of the exterior color, so it really contrasts on the white. The point of this being matte is it reduces sun glare for the driver, especially when you're ascending up hills and the sun's there. It's great for that. You do also get these anodized copper toe point covers. You can insert a eye bolt there to recover someone else or yourself. You get these 6 LED Gatling gun style fog lights, very, very bright from what I'm told. I don't have any nighttime driving experience in a wilderness, but apparently they're just phenomenal. Underneath the front Subaru logo, you get the front view off-road / parking camera. And I'll show you that inside. LED steering responsive headlights. But yeah, it looks very, very beefy for a traditional quote-unquote wagon. Around the wheel arches, you get more aggressive fender flares than you would find on the standard Outbacks. You get the exclusive 17-inch matte black 6-spoke wheels, and you get Yokohama Geolandar AT tires, which are a nice mix of highway performance as well as off-road performance. It's not the most aggressive off-road tire, we're all trained there, but it's very, very capable. Get your wilderness badge, 3 of those on the exterior of the vehicle. You get the gray mirror caps. Up top, you get a different roof rail system than you do on the standard Outbacks. So these are a little bit more robust. They'll hold a little bit more weight. You have to get the Thule extended crossbars. You don't have the ones that flip out like the other models of Outbacks. These copper and anodized copper points indicate tie downs, so easy to secure things. And you do have Outback in anodized copper right there as well. And again, more aggressive wheel arch. Actually extends onto the rear passenger door. At the back here, the bumper is the black plastic cladding. Again, this is an area that typically gets marked up, whether you're loading cargo or animals in it, or you're backing up. It's easier to scuff. It is, or less easy to scuff than paint, I should say. Again, tow hook cover location. You do have those little circles in the rear bumper. Those are your backup sensors. They'll actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour in reverse. Great feature for parking lots. It's amazing. Blacked out lettering on both sides, and then of course your other wilderness badge right there. Now this power tailgate can be opened 4 different ways. You've got the ability to open it from the key fob. It's actually the 3rd button down. You've got lock, Subaru logos, unlock, press and hold that. You can click on the door itself. Right between these 2 stars here underneath, there's a little rubber button. You can open it from by the driver's left knee, or so long as the key's on your person, walk up, block the logo, it beeps and opens. You've got a proximity tailgate. Very, very handy. Hands are full of groceries or kids or pets on leashes. It's awesome. Behind the 2nd row seats in the Outback, there's lots of storage room. It's wider, deeper, and taller than the previous generation. Privacy cover is 2-stage, so this is the 1st stage, and you can raise it up so you can still have some taller items and hide them. It does retract really easily, and you can actually remove it just by clicking the button there and lifting it. Now, the cargo tray with the lip to contain liquids and the privacy cover, that's standard equipment. On the sides, we have grocery bag hooks that fold down. We've got hard built-in physical tie downs. You actually end up with 8 of them in the wilderness. So if you have something awkward you need to secure, that's very, very easy to do. You do also get a 12-volt power point for any charging needs you may have. And then underneath here, as you lift up this, push down, lift up, and underneath here, you can actually run the privacy cover across underneath there. So if you need to remove that for more storage, you can. Outback Wilderness is the only Outback that comes with a full-size matching spare tire on a matching alloy wheel. So you can actually do 5 tire rotations. The idea is you're not limited by speed if you break down or destroy a tire off-road, and it's much more capable than a temporary tire. Now, the backs of these front seats, or the second row seats I should say, they're kind of rubberized. It's not quite the same material here, but it's more durable. Or if you have pets in the back, dog hair, pet hair can't work its way into that material. Now, if you need more storage, more length, we've got this, and I pull it, and it releases, and you can flip it down. And it's virtually flat. Both sides do it. Very, very easy. But there's a lot of room there. I have people that camp in their vehicles. It's great. Now, you can close it manually, you can press lock and close, you can just close it. Oh, LED cargo light. That's very, very handy. But if I do this, it locks everything, closes, and then you'll get an audible chime and the lights will flash, indicating that it's locked. So it was unlocked before, now it's locked. And of course I just Subaru logo twice, and once does driver, twice does everything. Access to the second row. Seats are very easy to lift up. Not a lot of effort required. If you wanted to fold them down from up front here, you've got the button right here. And if you can see red, that means it's unlocked. Locked. Now, good headroom, good legroom, taller people fit in the second row without issue. Now, the seating material is that black and gray kind of two-tone. It's called StarTex, or Soft Touch All-Weather Upholstery. It's a Subaru-made product. It's 20% recycled plastic. The rest is synthetic. As you can see, it's not perforated. So the idea is you can get very, very dirty, hop in, drive home, and wipe it down. It's not quite to the point where you can hose it out, but it's close. Armrest with cup holders if there's only 1 or 2 passengers. You have map back pockets on the back of both the front driver and passenger seat. And in the second row, you've got vents out of the center console, 2 charging ports, and the outer 2 seats are heated. So in addition to having to sit in the middle, the person in the middle also doesn't get a warm butt. That's very, very handy for the winters that we experience up here. Now, this material, it doesn't get quite as hot or quite as cold as leather, but it's hotter and colder than cloth would be. You've got bottle holders in both doors, power windows, and they all come with the privacy glass on the rearward windows. That's a standard on all the Subaru crossovers. Now, with the proximity key to lock it, don't know if you can see it there, the sun's pretty bright, but there's these lines, and so long as the key's within about 2.5, 3 feet, you can lock it. Walk up, keys in your pocket, your bag, and it unlocks. And you can program it so it only unlocks the driver, or you can have it unlock all of the doors just based on touch. Wilderness badge with copper contrast stitching. You'll notice copper throughout the interior. That's the highlight color for the Wilderness. Power windows, locks, mirrors, as you would expect. Bottle holders, window lock, important if you have pets or children, younger children. Power driver seat, including lumbar. And it's that same StarTex Soft Touch all-weather upholstery. Very, very comfortable. The headrests say Wilderness on them, embossed. It's a nice touch. On the inside, push button start, foot's on the brake, light goes green, that means go. If my foot is not on the brake, press it once, takes it to on accessory, twice, takes it to the on position. Foot on the brake. Now, the steering wheel is tilt and telescopic, so you can fit drivers of varying heights and arm lengths. Move it back, the power seat. On the sides of the mirrors, you have these little black screens, and I don't know if you can make it out on that side, but that's your blind spot detection. So it alerts you if someone's in your blind spot on the corresponding side, and it looks like that, which is nice. It doesn't eliminate shoulder checking, but it's a nice aid. Now, I was talking earlier about buttons. Open the rear hatch. You can open the rear hatch, you can adjust the brightness of the gauges, and that turns off the proximity feature for the rear tailgate if you don't like it or don't want it, or you're loading something on the roof and you have to stand to the back of the car and you don't want it opening. Steering wheel, left-hand side, we've got Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. These arrows will change the small center display. It gives you different pieces of information depending what you want to look at. That seems to be the most common. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise, and you can increase or decrease the distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you follow at. Best thing ever for the highway. Then we have lane centering and lane sway assist. So it'll actually tell you if you're crossing lines without signaling, without beeping, gives you an audible, and above 60 if the 2 color stereo eyesight cameras can see the road lines. It'll actually give you gentle steering input to help keep you in the middle of your lane. Great for the second half of a long day of driving. I don't recommend it around town. It's not quite it. I don't see the value around town. The second half of a day when you kind of find yourself weaving in your lane, that's where it'd be beneficial. Turn that off. Heated steering wheel, little orange light. It's kind of hard to see. It's very, very faint. It doesn't heat between the seam here. It kind of heats where you're supposed to keep your hands. There's a little break in it right there, and then back up. But they get absolutely cooking. I actually turn it off after about 5 minutes in the winter. It's too much. Gets to be too much. 11.6-inch touchscreen. And they've broken it into 3 portions. This top portion here, and the reason it's so reflective and shiny right now, still has the plastic cover on it, the screen protector, if you would. Lots of the time my detailers leave it on and let the new owners peel it off. So this one's going tomorrow, so they'll get to peel it off. But this top portion, what you're listening to, water temp, oil temp, you can change those widgets around. Weather, that's part of the satellite radio trial. We'll change that to print storage. And then you get dual function X mode. Then that's a wilderness exclusive right now for the 2022 model year. So you've got, it's like 4x4 low on a pickup. You've got snow and dirt, and it pops up, says snow and dirt. And then you have deep snow and mud for the really gross stuff. And when you go deep snow and mud, it also turns off traction control to allow for excess wheel spin. Wilderness is very, very capable. X mode, dual function X mode just makes it that much better. Middle portion of the screen, sorry, I'm trying to find an angle where you guys aren't getting as much reflection on the camera screen. You've got access to the My Subaru app, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, phone to hook up Bluetooth. When you put it in reverse, backup camera automatically pops up. You can see rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. Kind of hard to see because the back is in shade, but the top of the bumper's there. You have something to relate to. You can wash the backup camera. You just twist and hold this back towards you, this end here. I won't do that because this was just cleaned and I don't want to get it dirty with washer fluid. It's also where our front camera screen pops up. So I'm actually gonna pull this Outback a little closer to the building, try to get out of the sun here so there's no glare. Hang on 1 minute here. And we're back. I'm in the shade. Hopefully that cuts down on the glare for you. I know there's going to be a little bit, but you can see almost 180 degrees. It's nice to have, good for off-roading. And because it's almost 180 degrees, if you're parked between 2 vehicles in a parking lot or something you're pulling for, you don't have to get the passenger cab out to see what's coming. You can see because it's almost 180 degrees. If you exceed, I think it's 8 kilometers an hour, it automatically turns off, but you just press right there to turn it on. Bottom portions are climate control. We have physical buttons on either side as it's dual zone. Or touch, brings up the screen, and you can touch. Turn on your heated seats from there, which I don't need right now because 19, which isn't particularly warm, but I don't need heated seats. And it's easy to sync the temperatures back together. This will just disappear after a little bit if there's no input. Got your fan strength, press that. You get to dictate where you'd like the air, turn on your max air conditioning. Electronic parking brake. Now, to turn it off, my foot has to be on the brake. My foot's off the brake, push down, doesn't go off. It actually says to press brake pedal. Foot on the brake, and it comes off. Down here, wireless charger, that will go blue while it's charging. White means it's ready, blue means it's active. We've got 2 USB ports for all your charging needs. We've got an aux port for music listening. When you plug in, it's not a wired connection for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You must be plugged in. Decent cord, you can't use a dollar store cord for the most part. Automatic transmission with manual mode. If you go into manual mode, you can use your paddles, upshift, downshift to select your own gears. Deep cup holders. You have a cup raiser or donut, whatever you'd like to call it. And if you have a shorter cup, you can use that so it's easier to grab because these are quite deep. You have a little storage cubby right there ahead of the passenger, and right below that is your glove box. Didn't mention this, but you get the Wilderness mats with the Wilderness Outback. Just the front ones get the color. Up top, my favorite feature ever, auto dimming rear view mirror. There is no switch to flick. If someone's got their high beams on behind you, just automatically dims. It is the best thing ever. 3 buttons right here. That does your home link system. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to the mirror, so you don't have to carry a bulky visor on, or bulky mirror on your visor, I should say. Then above that, we have sunglass storage, and then you have access to the connected services, SOS, and concierge. And of course, sunroof control. It is the regular sized sunroof in the Outback, both tilt and slide. So that is a quick look at the 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. I do have a white Wilderness Forester right there. You can kind of see the differences. If you have any questions about the Outback Wilderness, Outback, any of the Subarus in general, or any of the safety tech in it, please let me know in the comments below. I do try to get back to all that. If there's something you'd like to see me cover in a new video, let me know. I'm always looking for new things to make for you guys. But again, I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Talk to you guys soon.